All right, guys, welcome to another NLGE podcast. End of week 7. The season is coming to an end, and we have Lou Apocalypse, Blue Falcon, How We Do, and then our new star and guest, Dookie from Nashville. How you doing, bud?
Thanks for having me, boys.
All right, so we're gonna shoot it off to Lou here. He wanted to kind of start the podcast off with some brief notes about last podcast, I guess. Kind of clear the air a little bit, and then maybe we'll have some discussion about that, and then we'll get right into the standings, and we'll talk about the up and coming possible Vesna winners, who we think it might be, or at least should be. So, Lou, go ahead, bud.
Sure. I mean, I'm just responding to what was said in the last podcast. I caught it a couple of days after it was made. I mean, just basically every statement that Debo slash Omni said is 100% incorrect. And you kind of jumped on it too, Gobra, and were, not 100% correct in what you said as well. I mean, I don't know where it's coming from. It really doesn't faze me a whole lot, but I do want to address everything that he said that was incorrect. He starts out with.
Wait. Before you start, I don't mean to cut you off. What exactly was I?
So at one point you said, you know, how do you even know Squid? And you were like, oh, I pushed that on them. In reality, what you were actually talking about was after I was making the decision to get rid of Nasty and keep the Squid as I had, I basically ran it by you, and you were like, I agree 100%. I mean, but in the podcast, it sounds like you introduced me to Squid, and, Squid lives down the street from me. I mean, I wanted him to sign in season 2, and he told me, he would if that Oilers team didn't develop as it did, because they had already asked him, that team with, like, Devin and Suki and all them. So, I mean, I've known Squid for a while. Um, that was the first thing that was said, and then, I mean, I don't know why it's Debo, coming at me like this, but, talking shit about, like, my stats and saying that, like, I don't give anybody credit on my team and, like, I hype myself up. I'm just going to, since he obviously didn't watch the podcast to get any of that information, the 2 podcasts that I was on, I'm going to read him an exact fucking script of what was said when someone asked me how I think I'm doing with our core squad. My first line is, Squid is a beast. Everybody knows Nasty, Barrett, Reflex, and K9. Then I say, I never had such a team. It won't be hard for me with Nasty and Squid on a line to not look bad. And then Dan Heater said something like, don't discredit yourself. And I believe my response was, I'm very realistic. I've been playing as long as these other players. But one thing and I am a pass, first, shoot, second kind of a player, but one thing I do well is run a team. And my last line, I think, was, if you take their talent and skill and have my leadership, I think we're going to go far this season. So, I mean, I don't know if that's hyping myself out and not calling out all my players. But anybody who's actually listened to me talk knows that I hype all my players all the time. So, I mean, I don't know where it's coming from. I mean, he's welcome to give his opinion. It's just when your opinion is based off nothing that, I've ever said, it just doesn't sit well. And I have nothing but respect for, basically everyone on St. Louis. I mean, they're a great team. They have some amazing players. But, just to watch that last podcast and really, get it from Debo criticizing all my shit, I don't see him topping any leaderboards myself. So, it is what it is. Whether I get carried or not, and I'm the first person to say that, and you'll ask anybody on my team, that I say that shit all the time. And I'm not afraid to say that, but we are in first place and we're doing real fucking well. And to manage the team that I have sometimes is, quite hard with people like Suki and others like that on the team. You know what I mean? So, I mean, he's welcome to criticize me, but just do it with, some sort of valid reasoning behind it.
Okay, I mean, yeah, I didn't know you knew Squid from beforehand. As in regards to the management thing, I think after we saw the blow up on the team with Reflex, and I think another person retired because of this whole situation developing with Squid and Nasty. Um, I think we were more understanding. I think I did mention Nasty's name, but you had already been considering him. So I mean, I guess that's what it is. But I didn't know you've known him that long. My apologies for that. You have to understand the thing with St. Louis, and maybe Howie can agree with
Oh,
this.
my bad.
Oh shit, Devo's in here. Nice. The thing with St. Louis, since Devo's in here, and you can agree, is there's been bad blood since the start. So I would take everything said by both of you guys with a grain of salt, especially when it comes to that the smack talk. But hi Omni, how you doing, bud? Welcome to the podcast, bud.
All I gotta say is St. Louis and Nashville both gotta watch out for Dallas in the playoffs. Son.
But Cobra, let me respond to that real quick. I mean,
That's what I thought. No response.
I'll respond to that in a moment.
Dookie, you're muted, bud. You gotta unmute your shit to talk.
But check it out, Cobra, real quick. In the beginning, yeah, there was a situation, with Nasty. I mean, basically, I had to support my, management, whether, I thought what he did was good or not. I mean, and in all honesty, I would have done the same thing. I mean, you have to do what's best for your team in the end, and they were to take advantage of them, or I shouldn't even say take advantage of them, but the trade came out the way that it did, and I mean, I even told Honcho that I would have done the same thing. You have to do what's best for your team, and Honcho is a good stand-up dude, and I've had a good relationship with him since then. I mean, butted heads a little bit early, but I have nothing but respect for those guys, especially after having a couple of his buddies on my team. So.
All right.
Yeah, I got a quick word to say here. Who is that guy that said something about Nashville and St. Louis?
Well, he didn't actually say it about Nashville. He said it about me.
What did he say about you?
Debo. He said a couple of things. He said that I don't call or give the people their due, and shit like that.
Oh no! After that, they came into the fucking thing.
He's talking about Blue Falcon, talking about Dallas taking Nashville and St. Louis.
Yeah. What was that about? Who said that?
Blue Falcon, and he's actually probably right. I think that they're one of the most dangerous teams.
All right. Well, I don't know why he would say that about us.
Yeah, I don't know either, but he came on for a moment. Maybe he'll be able to join back.
There was no hard feelings telling them murder you guys or anything, but you just gotta watch out, bro.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%, and like I said, we're here for the playoff run, right? Like we decided that the rest of the season is going to be just our practice till we get to the playoffs. We worked our way up. We got to number 1. Now we just want to focus on the cup. So anybody that's looking out for us, you know where to find us. We'll be in the finals.
Oh, boy. Yep. And if anyone tries to take a breather by going against Dallas with their second lines or something like that, you're going to have a fucking rude awakening.
Who's on that line?
We're for real.
Who?
He wants to know your lineup,
but let's not forget though, what a good team is. Obviously, you need good forwards. I don't know if you guys could hear me or not, but for a good team, what you guys need definitely is good forwards. And Lou Pac, he secured pretty much a good 2 first lines. We don't really have a first line. We have 2 good lines, and we have really very solid D, and we have one of the best goalies in the league statistically. Even though I would say he's probably overrated, but we would have to say he does play good sometimes, right?
And, what goalie is that?
Yeah, sorry. If you guys don't know who I'm talking about, Tabernac, his new account is Team Mayu this season, I think.
Yeah,
I know Tabernac.
16 or whatever.
He's very overrated, don't get me wrong, but at least with our defense and our forwards, we back check, we shut it down, and I would say 90% of the shots that are taken on us get blocked or deflected wide. So our goalie, Team IU, is just like, you know, any goalie would love to play for a team like us.
So we'll get into the Vesna. We'll get into the Vesna talk about the goalies.
Yeah, like I know St. Louis has a good goalie. Tampa, a couple of good goalies out there, and
Columbus has a great goalie.
Yeah, and like I said, it's when it comes to playoff time, you're not there. Your forwards could do whatever they could, and your defense too. But if your goalie can't stop a puck, you know, that's the downfall of every team.
We actually have 3 outstanding goalies in Dallas.
You mind giving us one?
We have Hurl. No, that's not going to happen.
We'll get rid.
No, you don't. You only have 2, dude. You only have 2. Spalling is not a good goalie.
You guys don't mind
Spalling
if
is
no?
5-1 since joining Dallas.
Oh well,
that's
nice.
All you gotta do is like not let him get shelled nonstop and give him some defense, and maybe he'll be a good goalie.
Yeah. But who up to you guys right now? If you had to choose one goalie, you could give him a shout out. Who would you want on your team without throwing your own goalies under the bus?
I have my goalie, Heroic Frost, without a doubt.
He's fucking smart. You see this guy? He's smart as fuck. He knows not to throw his goalies under the team. Good jizz, man. Like I would like to say is that I would love for you guys to talk about more players and stuff, because I know a couple of good players, but I'd like to know what you guys think about, let's say, Winnipeg's forwards or defense, or St. Louis, Nashville, our team. You know, I'd like to hear what you guys think about them.
We'll get into that. Let's we'll do the whole goalie thing, and then we'll start breaking down each team individually. Not just Nashville or St. Louis.
What am I looking at right there? What is that? What is that right there?
That would be the my stats for the goalies sorted by save percentage.
Oh shit! Can anyone else read that?
Well, you could also access it from your phone, but you're kind of using it right now, so.
Yeah. Yes, I am.
Blue, you're gonna have to help him out.
And then go by games played as well.
Oh, you guys talk about it. Talk about it. I'll just sit here and chill, boys. I'll sit here and.
It's Friday for St. Louis. I think Friday's the only one higher than Frost for save percentage in games played.
The sad thing is, Friday's availability has been shit because he's got a new job. If that kid was playing,
Frost
the amount of losses we would have would probably be cut in half.
Frost has like 10 more games played, and his save percentage is like fucking right underneath him. And then we got some heroes like fucking Canadian Bacon that decided to retire. That are his save percentages up there too, but he only played like 4 games.
Nashville wants this, boys. We're going for this, boys. Here we go, Nashville.
What do you guys think about I Corey? He's new to Nlge. He's actually new to hockey altogether, and he's put up probably some of the best goalie save percentage in terms of games played. 34 games played at just under an 8 average for games. I mean, what do you guys think about that?
I mean, I think that because of the amount of games some goalies have played, because it's so different that you really have to look at it on a save percentage or goals against average. But no, I definitely looked at him all season as one of the top 3 goalies.
I want to chime in and say that he's an East goaltender, so it's kind of fucking I don't know. I don't know how you say it. It's a disadvantage to the West goaltenders, considering we have the best teams in the league.
Yeah, but to be fair, he single-handedly kept Washington in their game against us. I mean, we peppered him with shots, and that kid can play. I'll give him credit, even though he is in the East.
Who we talking about? Who we talking about?
Hi, Corey.
Never heard of I Curly.
Yeah, I'll give him that. Yeah, I mean, we creamed him with shots, and he saved it. He had some nice saves.
Same thing with Heroic Frost for us. Like, in the beginning of our rebuild, like, if Frost wasn't our netminder, we would have been shelled and no one would want to come to Dallas. we would have just been getting shit on if it wasn't for Frost, for sure. And like maybe Corey did that for his team, but I just see us having to play West teams nonstop and Washington having to play East teams nonstop. It's a little more of a
Can somebody turn off that damn music?
Cobra, can you mute everybody?
Cut music.
That was the fucking guy that's wrapped up in fucking winter clothing that was playing the jungle music.
Was that jungle music?
So you were talking about Heroic Frost, 33 games played, 8 save percentage, 20 wins. No shutouts, though.
Well, I mean, he's playing on Dallas. Well, he's playing on Dallas and in the West. It's difficult.
Well, no, see, it doesn't mean anything because, like, teams play each other equal amount of times no matter what division they're in. So Corey's faced the same amount of teams the same amount of times as any player in the West.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I mean, there's also goalies in the West, like Tabbers, I think, has got 4 or 5 shutouts. But because of the distribution, I don't think the division really
For the save percentage, Frost's save percentage for being like at 35 games is like higher than everybody else's, which is pretty impressive. I mean, we don't score a lot of goals, like as you can see in the standings. We don't score goals, and we don't allow many either.
What do you guys think about Young Buck from Buffalo? And let's see what else here. We got Synchro Frost. What the fuck? Grazer. Hallie, what do you think about Grazer?
Grazer started off good, but I also think he was a product of our success. I mean, we were winning games 7-5, 6-4. And I mean, it's not like we have terrible defense. You know what I mean? It's just Blue Falcon sent me a message saying he left the side open. I told my guys to shoot from the blue line. I mean, that's how bad it got.
It did happen. I was watching Head Honcho's Twitch, and I jumped into Beast the Kid Badger's party. And I was like, dude, just start firing him at the fucking low corner. They're like, right now? I'm like, just shoot it. Low corner, nonstop. Just shoot it. And Beast the got like 3 goals in like a minute and a half. I was like, yeah, we're back in it.
Nice. Cool story.
Nice. No, I honestly, I just think he was rewarded from. I mean, I don't want to talk bad about people. That's not my style. He played.
Go ahead. Do it.
No, he played hard. He played hard when he was here, and it just didn't work out. He wasn't. He wasn't right for the Blues.
Am I right for the Blues?
Friday.
Am I right for the Blues?
Friday's my manservant. You can't say nothing bad about Friday.
No, I'm saying I think he's one of the better goalies.
Yeah, Falcon, you're always welcome on the Blues.
Come on, Howie. He was one of the reasons you went to the Blues. Be honest.
Be honest with each other.
That's what you told me.
I don't know why everybody dogs the East so bad. I mean, it's not like they're super, super bad. You know what I mean? That's my biggest problem. Everybody dogs the East. Yeah.
Huh?
Well, that our 5th place team would be in 2nd place.
Cheers, everybody.
Pretty much bad. And our team our West team that has no remote chance at a playoff shot would be in 4th or 5th, I think. Then it becomes a problem.
I mean, let's be real. The East is soft.
I had more time, you know what I mean? But I don't. And, I mean, I think we'll be actually contenders with the guys I got now. But that's what it is, is what it is. But the East isn't really that bad.
Hey, Iceman.
Yeah.
Let me see those tots, bro.
Yeah, no problem.
So any East owner that tells me right now that the 6th place team in the East can beat. So Pittsburgh can beat San Jose or LA.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You agree with that?
The East is least and the West is best.
So I will put a personal bet up that LA, playing all Mongoloid hockey, will beat the bottom 3 teams in the East 3 times in a row.
You want to bet on that?
Yeah, I'll bet on that.
Where do you want to bet?
What do you want to bet? You want to bet
How
a
you gonna
$25 card?
How you going to get 3 teams to play them 3 times?
Just one time apiece. That's all it takes. LA's on all the time. Kong will be more than willing to rip apart East teams.
Kong would definitely be able to do that.
Kong would definitely be more than willing to rip apart East teams.
It will stroke his ego. Come on.
It will.
Of course.
Kong would posted all his hits and everything. Be like, East, get this shit out of here.
Can we go back to the goalie discussion though? Because I kind of have.
Let's get back on track here, boys. Come on.
St. Louis.
Let's not get distracted here too much.
St. Louis still around, right?
New person to the podcast.
Yeah, St. Louis is still here.
So I mean, so Friday the 13th should remain goalie, but tons of fun stats are like just as good.
Yeah, Tunzi's been clutch for us.
I mean, yeah. He's definitely your backup goalie, I'm sure, right? I mean, his stats look just as good as Friday the 13th. So, I mean, yeah, he's got a little less games, but I mean, he's over 800 in saves percentage and lower than 2.5.
Sorry guys here, but how can I tell who's talking right now? Like, I'm looking at like 5 pictures. I see me, I see the stats, and I see everyone on the
little green bar that goes up and down when someone's talking.
Green bar up and down.
In the corner, bottom right corner of each player's person's picture.
Here? Whatever. I don't think you introduced me, Lou. No one knows who I am.
All right.
You know what I mean? I got these 14 followers.
That's
asking, like, who are you?
Yes, the person dressed in Canadian and Flyers gear is Captain Dookie.
Yeah.
He's a maniac.
Here we go. Nashville.
He is a phenomenal
Represent Nashville.
Yeah, he is a beast. He we kind of got hit. We got him in the nasty trade, and I mean, he got like bandaged just because of how he's been playing. I would say.
Where's Cobra Commando? Where's he located in the season here? Are we? What team does he play for?
He doesn't.
Himself.
Oh, right on.
But I mean, Dookie. I mean, although his stats are great as well, he makes everyone else play better, and he's not always might not have the most assists or goals, but I mean, he makes.
This one's for you. This one's for you.
And now, Lou, what you were saying about tons of fun, I don't mean to cut off Dookie or anything, but Tunzi's actually a forward.
Yeah, gotcha. I mean,
he shouldn't have been playing goalie for us, but we were in a pinch, and then the Hershey trade didn't work out for us very well. He's rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, if you could imagine.
Me?
No, Hershey.
I haven't heard. I mean,
no way. Hershey bar?
Yeah, it's
I thought this part of the show was about me still. That's what I was told.
He's a great guy.
No.
No, you come later.
All right, I'll be back.
No, but I mean, it's kind of funny that Tons of Fun isn't even a goalie, and I would possibly consider him one of the top 5 or 6.
Yeah, a lot of people have said our defense has been lackluster as far as the beginning of the season. I know Cobra was one of them doubters on our D, but it just shows, I mean, the kid can play anywhere, but our defense helps him out a ton, too.
Yeah.
I just found out that those 3 dots mean someone's talking when someone's on their picture. Good. Who's this guy lying down with on his sofa here? Who's that?
That's probably Team News.
That's me.
Why are you so comfy right now, man? Wake up a bit. We need to hear you.
I'm trying to be quiet.
No, man.
I'll be loud
We
when
want to hear.
it comes.
What do you think about? How can I say this? Who do you think's going to go furthest into playoffs in your division?
In the West?
Yeah. Let's hear. I want to hear you.
You know, honestly, I said it in the beginning. I said it before the season even started. It's going to be a dogfight. It's really tough. There's a lot of good teams there. You know, as much as Kong and I love to go at each other. You know, they're a good team, and you know, I think pretty much. I mean, unless we go on a roll, we're probably sliding in the 4th spot, and we may end up playing either them or the Sharks. So, you know, I think everybody's going to beat each other up.
Yeah. Oh, I agree 100%. You're definitely in a dog-eat-dog division. It's very tough. What does it take your team? What do you need your team to do to go to the Cup? What does your team need to do? I'll tell you what my team needs to do.
Honestly,
after.
Well, honestly, it's just like what I always tell my team to do. Let's just play our hockey. We can't let. No offense to, I love Howie. You know, when we play St. Louis, we can't let St. Louis dictate how we play. We can't let Nashville dictate how we play. We can't let all of those guys dictate how we play. As long as we play the way we play, we will win in the end. You know, if they let us get us, either unnerved or let's say they get up 3-0 and everybody starts getting out of, oh shit, we're down 3-0. They start doubting each other. That's on a. I don't want to say we'll lose because we've come back, but it will put us on a downward spiral. So we just got to play our hockey, and I think every team is the same way.
Where'd Dookie? Dookie just left.
Yes, somebody just left.
And Debo has rejoined the chat. Yeah, Debo.
Yeah, he sent me a text saying that he had to reset his Wi-Fi and shit.
Oh, okay. Got that boogie connection.
Can anybody hear me? Hello?
Hey, bud. How you doing?
Hello.
Hello.
What's up, Omni? What brings you to the podcast today?
I was paged. I was told to come.
Oh, yeah? Anything special? Any special reasons?
You tell me, bud. It's your podcast.
Because Debo is important? Come on, man.
Well, I don't know. I'm not the one who pages them, so, fuck. Well, we're just about to go through the teams, so.
Oh, yippee.
Yeah.
Well, to continue what I'm saying, so there's not too much of a blank spot here, is our toughest goal is going to be Winnipeg because we seem to be able to beat St. Louis, we seem to be able to beat Nashville and everyone else, but Winnipeg is just our white knight. You can't beat them. They just seem to have our number. So if we can overcome that hurdle, we'll be fine.
All right, boys. Here comes the funnest part of the podcast. Iceman, I didn't know if I welcomed you properly, bud. How's it going there? How's your Christmas been so far?
Pretty good. Yourself? Thank you.
It's been all right, man. I mean, a little mad with Walmart's warranty, but that's a story for another day.
That's why I never buy them.
Yeah. So let's talk about the standings now. We'll go by each team, and we'll do something different. We'll start from low to top. So we'll start talking about Calgary. I have their statistics loaded up here. I don't know if any of you guys have bothered to load it all up yet. Whose mic is that in the background? I see your mic. Yes. Dick. Oh, shit. All right, so who wants to say something? Oh, I mean, Noose, you were there, buddy. How's Calgary faring? Who do you think are the top players on this team? You got Cormier and Thewis Gorilla up there.
Honestly, I they're I don't know. You got Jake, you got Mark, who are good guys, and they're going to fight till the end. But they have an uphill battle. I mean, they've kind of dug a deep hole for themselves. They've tried to make some moves. They brought some people in that just haven't worked. They, shipped some people out. Obviously, they had Legacy for a little bit. They had a Hyrule Spire for a little bit. But especially with doing the Players of the Week, looking at Ace, their goalie, man, he gets an awful lot of shots against him. And, I'm sorry, but it's got to go to the defense. His save percentage is great, but it just seems like he's going to have to stand on his head for them to do anything. So, I mean, they're gonna make a push. I think they're 8 points back last I checked. But that's going to be a tough road to hoe,
Yeah, I agree. How many points are... Sorry, I muted my mic in the middle of that. How many points are they out right now?
I think they're out about... Last I checked, they were off, I think, San Jose by 8. So it's not too bad, but I don't think all the games were in. So I don't know exactly how they're off, but with a week and a day left, that's a lot, Like, somebody's going to really have to tumble for them to get there. I hope they do, but, I just don't trust it. Cormier's a great player. He's a great center. Mark's a great defenseman, but I don't know. I still know that they have the pieces. Sorry.
What do you think about Calgary, Lou? Iceman?
Oh, I think Mark's shot is probably their best asset that they have in general. I don't know. I mean, I think they can make a push. I don't know how much they really have left in the tank, you know what I mean, to give that ultimate push. But, I mean, I kind of agree with what Noose was saying. They made some moves, and, I mean, they turned out all right. I mean, they beat us, and like I said, we're not the greatest team, but we have our nights,
I mean, technically, it's still possible. They're only down 8 points. They have 58. San Jose's sitting at 66. They also have 2 games in hand. So they basically have to go on a pretty sick run and hope San Jose does not.
Yeah, and I don't think San Jose is going to do that. San Jose has pretty tough defense.
Yeah. Although if you look at the last 10, Calgary's 6-4. The Sharks are 3-6-1.
Yeah, San Jose went on that mad run. I think they were on like an 8-game winning streak. So, I mean, unless they turn around and do the opposite, it's going to be tough to see San Jose folding that bad.
Again. Yeah, but I don't think San Jose is going to go far in the playoffs. I hate to say it. I mean, I know Crazy's my cousin, but, dude, they're kind of falling apart. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean.
Well, I mean, I don't know how to really explain it, but just with the players and stuff, I guess, the way he was talking, just said a lot of the guys are having problems, showing up problems, I guess, again. So, trying to mix match players when you already have a line set that has been winning for you, that creates problems. Obviously, I know firsthand about that.
So, just to be clear, we're talking about San Jose?
Yeah.
Okay. And who's your cousin on that team?
Crazy.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forget. Sorry, man. I got bad memory with that shit.
Oh, that's all right. It's all good.
All right, let me load up here. This over here. Sorry, I'm just organizing shit. Okay, so San Jose, since we're talking about them now, Crazy leading the team with most games played. 94 points. That's not bad. 46 games played, 49 goals, 45 assists, 94 points, 2.04 points per game average, and a plus 18. So yeah, no, they've been on a tear. They got Parker now, so hopefully he's playing good. And then obviously they got Grazer. Is Grazer even playing goalie for them?
I'm not sure.
To be honest, I heard that Grazer, one of the reasons that Grazer's moved around so much is that he doesn't want to play goalie anymore. So I don't know if that's true. I mean, we haven't had him, so I don't know. And
He's only been moved once.
Well, he moved from. Well, didn't he go from St. Louis to Calgary, and now he's somewhere else?
Didn't they? I thought they traded. Well, fucking Devo's here. Where'd you guys trade?
That is correct. That's correct.
That's
Enos is right.
All right.
So, I mean, that's just what I heard. I mean, I don't know for sure. I mean, he's a great guy. I played with him before, and he was a great goalie when he had good defense in front of him. I mean, I always liked having him in goal behind me when I was playing. So, but I just heard that he doesn't want to play goalie anymore. So.
Well, he played a game at net on the 21st. Lost at 3-0, or like he lost by allowing 3 goals. Sorry, I should say. So fuck. Well, he's got a couple forward games here. Terrible stats for a forward. Good plus minus. What do you play, like defense or something? Anyways, you got Rockstar. Rockstar only has 10 games played. Oh, he's played most of his games at goalie. What do you guys think about Rockstar as a goalie? He has some pretty good stats.
Yeah, Rockstar's a pretty good goalie. I can.
What about you, Lou? You've been kind of silent.
Yeah, no, I definitely think Rockstar's a good goalie. I don't think he's at that upper echelon of some of the others, but he's definitely kind of right behind them.
At least he's got a good hat on.
Yeah, for sure. It's hard to come back for goalies.
I think that I hate to say this because he's on my team, but one of the most underrated goalies I think that is around the league is Smith 39, and that's just because he gets beat on a lot. You know what I mean? Because I don't really have the defense, but I mean he plays lights out, dude. He's pretty damn good goalie, but his stats don't show it because I don't really have a defense for him to, it's solid to help him out really.
No, that's a good point. I mean, defense is an important part, and like you've taken over the team late due to Chris Letang retiring because he's a douchebag. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be so rude, but any person who makes fun of his previous owner for quitting and giving up and then doing the exact same thing makes me laugh a little bit. I mean, other than these, you got Mees, you got Crembrosi, you got Parker, you got Diabolical Viper, Chell King, all with decent stats. I mean, if San Jose does make it into the playoffs, do you guys see them making it past the first round? Could they pull off an upset?
Oh, I think they could pull up an upset if they get the right guys.
I mean, I don't think so because they're going to have the loser of Nashville, St. Louis, or Winnipeg in the first round, and I can't we didn't.
Yeah, but Winnipeg and somebody else.
Sorry, Lou, I couldn't hear one single thing you're saying because some sort of feedback was coming through Noose's mic that cut off what you were saying. Can you repeat that?
Yeah, no worries. What I said is that I don't think San Jose can really go far in the playoffs because they're going to play the loser of, like the third place team out of Winnipeg, Nashville, or St. Louis. And I don't think that's saying San Jose can beat any of the 3 teams in a 7-game series right now. But that's just my thought. We would have quite the tough road.
Not to mention that a few of the people that you just mentioned have been put on waivers. Cam Rossi, Chell King, both have been put on waivers. If somebody else claims them, they're not there anymore. So.
Yeah, no, there probably is a couple of claims in there. I know a lot of people are really getting into the new claim system. It's super easy, and it's even easier on our end too. So I guarantee they've probably been snatched up by at least a team. Um,
What happened to Cobra there?
I have a tendency of muting my mic. Sorry. Moving on. We're going to talk about LA, who's third. I think this is where I predicted they'd be. I'm not 100% sure. Either fourth or fifth. One of those. Let's see here. 33 wins, 31 losses, 3 overtimes. There's no real major statistics on this page here. I should go here. Go to this page.
I don't think LA's going to make it out of the first round.
Pardon?
I don't think LA's making it out of the first round.
You don't think LA's? Oh, that's Kong's team, man. He always makes it out the first round, though. He always makes it to the second round and then has the history of being taken out in the second round. We'll see this season here. Looking at LA's stats, obviously nasty. Lou's favorite player. And then you got Lancott, you got the Collector, you got Zontes. DeBose, apparently DeBose and Donks are like their first line, or so I hear. In terms of goalies, I mean they got some subpar goalies. Speedy has dropped back from center to goalie is what it looks like with 28 games played as a goalie. He's normally always been a center. Sorry. And he has some pretty good stats other than his minus 17. But this Lancecott guy is plus 58 above his whole entire team here.
Yeah.
Oh, he's an excellent center, honestly.
Yeah, he's doing phenomenal.
He used to play goalie, but I played club with him a lot. He plays in Mandata and the Coats, and he's an excellent goalie. He's an excellent center.
I mean, I think San Jose is only 3 points behind LA and has a game in hand.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised to see LA drop to the San Jose spot.
Yeah. They're 5-5 in the last 10.
Yeah, don't mind me. I'm just looking more into some of these stats here. Okay.
Yeah, right now it's I think LA has 69 points and San Jose 66 with a game in hand. So,
damn,
I mean,
Columbus,
no offense, I know Dallas is pulling away. We have 80. That's 11. I don't think LA Kings are going to catch us.
Hey, Columbus, you still there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just looking at standings and stuff.
Yeah, you want to explain this game here, or you guys got smashed? Look at this. Look at these statistics.
Who was that to?
You guys got beat by LA, 12-3.
Oh, that was miserable, dude. That was a put together. Well, honestly, that was a put together team. That's when I got a couple new guys. One guy wanted to play goalie. One guy wanted to play defense, and I was just trying things around, trying to make something click. And it obviously didn't click at all. We got smoked.
Obviously.
I think we got smoked 2 games in a row that night, I believe.
Let's move these over here. Sorry, I'm just getting the next conferences pages opened up. All right, moving on to Dallas. Let's check them out here. Dallas, can you guys hear me? My shit's not muted?
They suck.
Yeah, they do suck. 38 wins, 24 losses, 4 overtime losses, 80 points. They're about 18 points back from the next position, which is St. Louis. And this is funny. If we looked at last week, Nashville, Winnipeg, and St. Louis were like neck and neck. It looks like St. Louis had a really off week because they didn't go up much. What's up with that, Howie?
I don't know. We're just trying to mix and match lines, see what works best for the playoffs. I mean, we pretty much locked our way in. The home ice is overrated, to me at least. So I think our availability being shitty and the fact that we had to kind of mix and match lines to get through the week on the holiday week kind of put us at a bad spot.
Yeah, you guys. I remember you guys were even asking me to ECU for you on Wednesday. It was kind of funny. I was flattered, but I don't think Columbus would have appreciated us playing against them.
I wouldn't have cared.
Well, no, because you guys won, right? You guys are sitting there boasting that you beat St. Louis.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. Anybody that beats St. Louis right now, it's a pretty big win. I mean, especially for us, it's a big win.
Fair enough. I'll give you that. That's a good point. All right, so moving on to Dallas. Dallas losing. What? They're on a losing one. They've lost one streak. Okay, whatever the fuck. Last 10 games, 8-2. So they had a really good week, or at least the last good 10 games. Statistically wise, I mean, we see a bunch of Winnipeg players here that have kind of inflated their stats a little bit, because most of these guys were like barely positive, other than Snook and a couple other guys. But I mean, what do you? I don't know if I asked you guys last week, but what did you guys think of that trade, that Winnipeg trade? I don't think I got a chance to ask Lou. Lou, what did you think about that Winnipeg legacy trade?
I didn't think it was in the best interest of Dallas's team, the way that it broke down. But I mean, that's my opinion from an owner of just another owner in the same division. I think St. Louis, made a great trade, and I think,
Louis? You mean Dallas and Winnipeg?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I think Winnipeg made out with that trade, personally. But I guess it's to be seen. Maybe Seabass will do something phenomenal over there. But in my opinion, I thought they made out well.
All right, good stuff. I mean, I personally think Dallas made out better.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Just because of the depth they picked up, I think they increased. I think they got like a whole line for a player that realistically is good by himself. I mean, no doubt about it. If you ever played with Legacy, the guy will make people look stupid and fuck around and troll people in the corner, and it's a sight to see and it's kind of fun to watch. But I think he did really good with that trade. I think it picked up a whole line here. Now, Blue, since you're back here, how's Emperor Domino or Damo?
His internet is garbage right now because he's back home from college. His home internet is fucking shit. So we're looking for a second center, like pretty much right now. Is why we claimed Hyro Spartan off of the Calgary Flames. Because if Hyro Spartan was good enough to trade 1-for-1 for Legacy, we figured we'd give him a shot.
I mean, I just think Legacy and Choose and Bruise together, let alone having Sedin as well. I mean, I don't know how good Sedin's been this season, but I know Choose and Bruise is as solid a D-man as you're going to come by in the league and Legacy.
With shit availability as well.
What's that? Good
availability.
Things like availability that do obviously matter. So, maybe it was better than I thought with other factors involved.
Well, the fact is, right now that we have 8 defensemen, and we need to get rid of 3 of them. So.
Yeah, we kind of have a glut of defensemen at the moment. So, we got rid of a part that we could have parted with. And we're still looking to move at least one defenseman. For the playoffs. Obviously, everybody shortens their lines come playoff time. So.
And did I feel I could move Choose and Bruise because I can play in his spot? Absolutely. So, I mean, that's how I feel about that, like, little tidbit.
All right, good stuff. So, like, all in all, we think Dallas is going to make it in, get swept in the first round, and then we're never going to hear from them again. Moving on to teams that are more relevant.
Not a chance, bud.
I got a little bit of knowledge for you there, Cobra.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually kind of want Winnipeg first round with this naysaying shit that we gave Winnipeg the better trade in Legacy. Like I would actually want to see that first round just so we can fucking beat them.
I mean, I think I said this
and
before.
save Lupak the trouble.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I've said this before. Dallas has beaten us more times than St. Louis or Winnipeg, actually combined. I think Dallas beat us maybe 3 times, and St. Louis and Winnipeg has both only beaten us once, if I'm correct. So I mean, Dallas I think is an underrated team, but I think everyone's starting to see that now. But
all right, so let's move on to teams that are more relevant.
The one that Cobra's on, the New York Rangers.
Yeah. Oh, buddy, come on now. All right, so St. Louis, 48 wins, 15 losses, 2 overtime losses, 98 points. You guys are exactly 8 points back of the league leader for President's Cup in terms of Nashville. And let's see here. 7-3, so maybe I was overestimating the actual week here, so you guys didn't have that bad of a week with a 2-game win streak. I don't think stats have been updated. I think I'm pretty sure you guys lost games Wednesday, so these definitely aren't updated. But here, let's go to Nashville. Let's go to St. Louis now. Chislett, Haxby, Howie, what the fuck, bro? 35 games played, 35 goals, 59 assists, 94 points, averaging 2.69 points per game, plus 58. Like, those are some solid AHL stats.
Yeah, bro, that's where I belong.
Oh, shit. I'm never going to let that go. It's just, for me, I just like to pick at it because I find it funny. I always think you're a great player, Howie. Don't ever take it the wrong way.
Oh, dude, I could care less. When I told Debo, I just like playing. I just like playing the game. Don't matter where I play it.
And I think regardless of how the is out for playoffs, that St. Louis has a decent squad. I mean, there's no way to deny that. I think they're going to be hard to beat for any team. And I think they have a little bit more depth than I previously thought.
Good stuff. Let's see here. I mean, Howie, if you were to put it on one player, and you have to pick one, none of this whole we're a team nonsense. If you have to pick one player on the team that stands out and is a true difference maker and will be a true difference maker in the playoffs, who would that be?
It's hands down the Chislett Haxby combo. I say it because they're inseparable. I mean, they play together in every league that they're in. I think they actually live by each other. But those two are phenomenal. Those are probably the best two NHL video game hockey players I've ever seen play.
Howie, can I ask a question? Who are your 2 starting goalies?
Well, Friday when he actually can play is our number one. Right now, other than Friday, it's Tons.
All right, it's not Hershey, right? No offense, but
no, it's I don't know how to say it.
First off, everybody here knows that I have no love for him. I mean, he was assigned to our team immediately after a trade. Told me his availability was 1 game. Somehow he wanted to go to St. Louis. We did trade him there, and he eventually made it there. And we played against him, and I think Blue was the one that came right inside the blue line, just kind of flicked it in, and it went in the goal. He didn't seem to be a very good goalie. I'm just wondering, how useful he is on your team.
He's actually, believe it or not, he's one of the best goalies in Nlge AHL right now. But the problem is he actually gives a shit about that league, and he doesn't really care too much about this league.
Yeah, it's kind of what he told me.
I mean, that's what he's made it very clear to the team and to Debo and Honcho and me. I mean, I've known Hershey for since NHL 14. We've played together, and he just doesn't give a shit about anything other than being a troll.
Well, yeah, I got that impression from
good at that
box. Now, just another quick question about your team. I see you got Pens on your roster here. You guys haven't played him yet? Why?
Availability. Believe me, the day he tells me he's available, he's getting into the game. The kid's a beast. Our real plan is to have Scumbag, Pens, and Debo run our 9 o'clock line, and then me, Chislett, and Haxby run our 8 o'clock line as far as forwards are concerned. We're pretty comfortable with all 4 demon that we have on the roster, letting them pretty much play wherever and whenever. They can play either side, and I think they're all pretty good enough to do whatever they need to do.
I think Pens is a huge pickup. We went after him for a little while, and they weren't budging on anything. I think that's a huge pickup.
In New Jersey, Fred and I get along real well, and Fred told me that Pens said he wanted out, and he was afraid he was going to quit on him before the season ended. And going into the playoffs, he didn't want to have people, or not enough people to fill his roster up. So he pretty much made a nice deal on our part to get rid of him. We got him for pretty cheap. I mean, we gave up Topless and I can't remember who else.
Yeah, no, I saw that trade and I thought that was phenomenal on your guys' part.
Yeah, we were happy. We were definitely happy with that one.
All right, moving on to Winnipeg. Winnipeg here. What do we got? What do we got for Winnipeg? 49 games played, 12 losses, 3 overtime losses, 101 points, 5 points back for the President's Cup on a 3-game win streak, and they went 8-1-1 this week, which, I mean, other than Nashville, probably had to be one of the better weeks. I mean, like, what do you guys? I mean, they say Legacy's working out really great on their lineup. He's sort of coming back in the points lead here. We just got 84 points, but I highly doubt he's going to catch any of the leaders like Blomqvist, who's got 142 points on Winnipeg. I mean, what do you guys think really stands out on this team in terms of like goalie, defense, forwards? And that's a question for everyone. We'll let Noose go first because his background sound is killing my fucking ears.
Come on, I can turn it off. Actually, I think the biggest thing with Winnipeg, I mean, you were asking about the Legacy trade. I think the biggest thing about that trade was, in my opinion, they got a great player, obviously, but I think we kind of made them a little weaker. Assassination and King Manolis, especially, both defensemen, we kind of took from their defense. Reggie Hauser's a great player, so is Seabass. So we kind of took from them, and they got a little lesser. I hope. But we still can't beat them. So I don't know. They're such a solid team. You have to be ready to play them, and you can't. You have to play your game. I haven't played them in at least a month, and they're going to be a tough force to deal with. I don't know. I wish I had an answer for you. I wish I knew how to beat them. But if I did, we would have beat them by now.
Lou, what do you think about Sagas the Degas in terms of goalie? 33 games played, .762 save percentage, 4 shutouts, 23 wins, 9 losses.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually just about to bring him up, but I mean, I think if Winnipeg is, I think their offense is extremely strong. I think Sagas the Degas is probably in the top 5, but I think he's on the latter part, maybe. I think teams that can beat them have been able to exploit him one way or another. I'm not saying he's a bad goalie because he's definitely not. I mean, you can look at his numbers. But I think that, I think their defense is beatable. But, as Noose just alluded to, a lot of teams haven't been able to do that. So, I mean, they're definitely, they're probably would be in first place if they had enough games played, or it would be neck and neck. I mean, they're a real solid squad, and they're playing together real well,
Yeah, it's ironic because I actually scouted Segas on Calgary and brought him there, when we drafted when I was there. So I mean, he's a fantastic goalies. And the last couple times we played them, I mean, our offense has been good enough. We've had enough shots on them, but we just couldn't beat the goalie. And he was the difference. So he's definitely somebody that whatever team goes against him is going to have to solve him in order to win and go forward.
Obviously, for some reason I was on Nashville stats. I mean, what's St. Louis think about Winnipeg? This could be a potential potential team that you guys are playing in the playoff finals. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you guys think there's any real troublemaker players on that team that you guys are just like, you're gonna have to really play defense against them, or they're gonna hurt you? Like, I mean, what's your whole game plan into going into a situation where you might have to play a series against Winnipeg?
Debo, you want to lead that one, or you want me to take care of it?
Debo's been quiet this whole entire time. He's lazy. Just wants everyone else to do the talking.
All right, I guess I'll
that
do
means
it.
you, Howie.
To be honest with you guys, we've never had problems against Winnipeg. I think they've beaten us once out of the 5 times or 6 times we've played them this season. Not saying that they're bad or by any means, but just in the fact that I think we match up really well against them. We don't take anyone for granted, though. We play as hard as we can every game, even if we do lose it. But I think you got to bring your A game. I mean, there's a reason why they were 8-1-1 this week, and why they're second in the West in a tough division like we have. So I think it just depends on if it's our night or the matchups that we get. But I think we'll be all right. I like our chances against anybody.
All right, so I guess we're done talking about Winnipeg. I mean, they got a couple notable players. I think we're done talking about Legacy, Eddie Fistpound, Final Champ, Futuristics, a great solid D-man, Red Bombers of D-man. Those are really two really good guys.
I think Winnipeg's scary good.
Yeah. All right, let's go home on this one, drag that over there. And now let's move on to the leader of the West, and right now in the potential President's Cup position, if they maintain their spot here, because New Jersey's kind of fallen off the track, and we'll talk about them in a bit. You guys are 9-0-1 this week with a 5-game win streak, which is by far you are on the best winning streak right now, while Columbus is on probably the worst losing streak with 10 straight losses. That's rough.
Last week, I think Tampa Bay was at a 12-point losing streak at some point, but just something I noticed.
Yeah, but Tampa actually had a much better week. When I was in their party, I think Wednesday, and they were all in a positive, upbeat motion. They're like, "Yeah, we just beat St. Louis," and I'm just like, we heard St. Louis is one of the best teams, and I'm like, well, they were having trouble. Like, oh no, wait, who was it? Was it St. Louis or there was someone they were bragging about beating? I can't remember who it was. I think it was St. Louis. Did you guys play them Wednesday?
We literally lost to the 3 lowest teams on the standings this week and beat everybody else. I don't know how that's possible.
It's possible. I mean, Nashville, you got I'm Just a Squid, El Dookie, Lou Pox even put up some decent stats. Here's a fun question. Who would you guys consider the better player? Lou Apocalypse Now or Omni?
Omni.
I guess Omni. Lou, what do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't think I'm like the best player by any means, but I think I could give him a run. But I mean, it's kind of impossible to say who's a better player than someone else when you're, similar or on a similar level. But he's more versatile than I am. But I'm sure there's some things that I do better.
I mean, that's no offense. Just the games you guys played against us, Omni was the better player of those games. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I can go by, honestly. I mean,
yeah, no worries. I mean, it's your opinion. No worries. Right. Cobra kind of a dick for asking a question like that.
Well,
podcast.
Yeah, that's a shitty move.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, why don't we talk about Squid, Dookie? I think are both amazing players when they're on. I mean, Squid hasn't been on too much the last 2 weeks, but I mean, his numbers speak for themselves. He's doing phenomenal. He can literally independently change a game.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, I played with Squid for a couple seasons now. We've had the benefit of playing on the same teams in different leagues, so he's a solid player. Okay, so I guess that we'll move on from Nashville here. How's Captain Canada working out for you guys, by the way, and Draisaitl?
They're both doing real well. Draisaitl has been, he's got great availability, able to jump in on a couple times when, we had some no-shooting on defense. And Captain Canada has done extremely well since coming in. I don't know if you look at his stats, but he fit in real well with, whatever line that he needed to play with since being here.
So that kind of sums up the. Wait, am I showing muted? Yeah. Okay. So that kind of sums up the West. We'll start off with the bottom of the East, and we'll start with Columbus, who's falling on some hard times right now. Iceman, what's going on there, buddy? What's the trouble now?
Well, I think everybody in the league knows what the trouble is there. I mean, you go from one owner to another to the next, and then you're trying to pick up guys, and then finally we actually have a nice set, one line, but, you get into the second lines, and you're trying to mix match, trying to find guys that don't have work, want to play. They can show up, have guys that say they want to play, and then you put them in there, and then all of a sudden they don't show up, or they're 10 minutes late, and I'm trying to scramble to find guys, and it's a real shitty situation, but you try your best, I guess. I don't know what else more to say there on the circumstances of what we have, but what we do have, and there's nights that we play really well, and there's nights like LA where we get crushed.
When are you going to let your boy Lambo play right wing? That's his natural position, right?
Well, you try whatever you can, you know what I mean?
I feel you, but that kid is a savage on the right side. I tried to get him to play all season, and then all of a sudden he's playing. That broke my heart.
Well, I mean, I tried him there. He did good the other night, but when you're lined up with 6 guys that play right wing, they don't play anywhere else, and then you're lined back up with you're barely having any left wings, and you're trying to get them to fit in there and get them playing time. That's the problem. Whenever Letang was there, he pretty much just dismantled the team and stuck me with 10 forwards, and I have 15 or whatever forwards, and I have no defense. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I was trying to pick up guys, hopefully that they could turn around or make a difference. I hope they play 2 spots, So.
I hear you, man, and we understand the situation you're going through, but and we're glad that you're sticking it out. And like I said, man, right now if you need someone for the last week just to finish it out, if you got people not showing up. I could help you out. I'll use you for a game. I won't count stats towards myself, but just to avoid forfeits, especially the team that looks like you guys are pretty much out of the playoffs. You got 23 points and Tampa has 40 points. So I mean, it'd be literally impossible for you guys to come back at this point.
Yeah, we kind of knew that after this week went down, and you know what I mean, the makeup games, and we lost them, but. Oh well.
Who's joined here? Who's this?
Monda.
Monda. What's up, buddy?
Just coming by, chill out.
Oh shit. Well, welcome to the podcast, bud.
trying to figure this shit out, though.
All right, yeah, you do that. We'll just continue on here. All right, so Tampa, 19 wins, 44 losses. Jesus Christ. But yeah, the next three teams, their win percentages, it's questionable. But they're on a 3-game winning streak, so that's a positive. They lost 7 games straight, and then they won 3, so that's good. Here, let me try to get their stats up here.
But I think 3 or 4 out of them are against us.
Jeez. Obviously, you still have High Top leading. I think she's leading the team at points right now. You got PJ Reaper, who's having a remarkable season as a D-man. I mean, other than his plus-minus, which is like minus 50, and a lot of these other players here, his points aren't too bad. 48 points for 33 games played for a D-man. I find those to be respectable stats, at least for a D-man's sake, anyways. But I mean, is there anyone else here on this team that you guys know, maybe want to mention, talk about here a little bit? No? No one? Alright, sweet. So I'll do it. Plunger 1. He's a good forward. Pinkerton. I mean, these guys, their stats just doesn't reflect how good they actually are. I've played with them at club before. They're good players. Just haven't had any luck with lines and availability throughout the season. But I'm pretty sure they're double aces and another player are going to be like their top line. I think double aces is playing more now, and they've been winning games with him playing. So, and you guys know double aces?
I don't know double aces, but I know Blunter 1 and Pinkerton both always seem to be on Reaper's team, and they're both really solid players. They just get stuck on bad teams for some reason.
Double Aces is a good dude and a pretty good hockey player as well.
Yeah, Ronix is pretty good. He's a LG NHLer.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to see him not on the top of that list there.
Well, I mean, you could put a player like Legacy on that team, and it just wouldn't be enough, right? I mean, they have good chemistry. It's just availability and I guess just bounces, and I don't know, nothing's really gone their way this season, so it's kind of sad to see them there.
Well, you can only do so much when you blow through 2 owners. You know what I mean? There's only so much you can do.
Well, no, their team has had the same owner all season. Reaper's been there since the start.
Oh, my bad. We're talking about Tampa, not Columbus.
Yeah, we're talking about Tampa. Thanks, Blue.
I just rejoined. My bad. I just been muted.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, so moving on. Let's get through, I guess, here. Let me load the next ones up here. Washington. Buffalo. All right, so we'll talk about Pittsburgh now. Pittsburgh, again, not that much better, but they have a couple overtime losses that put them just slightly above Tampa. 3-7, and they're on a 4-game losing streak right now. They also had a player off their team, AC09DC, retired.
Yeah, he came from our team. He was actually a good player, just I don't know why he retired.
Yeah, no, I don't know. He posted a retirement on Christmas, I'm pretty sure. Killzone's a pretty good dude. It's just his availability is shit. Lady Redbush has already played like 12 games. His stats aren't too bad for Pittsburgh. I mean, if they could muster a line around like Lady Redbush, Ploop, and another player here, and really put that together, I could see him being at least having a decent first line and possibly taking a team in the playoffs to like Game 7. But I don't see him advancing past the first round if they don't have things set up. I mean, Spliff's a good dude, but minus 44, that's a pretty telling statistic.
They played totally different whenever they played us there, and we were crushing them like game in, game out, and then all of a sudden they just, I don't even know how to explain it. They come out with a different line, and they look really good.
And you guys got anything else to say about Pittsburgh? Well, I mean, they did have Die Hard and Insane, who they got late in the season, and Lady Redbush. So they, through random assignments, managed to get a couple good players. I don't know about Die Hard and Insane, but I heard they play together and they got good chemistry. Lady Redbush I've known from other leagues. She's been a great center. Blue Liner, I mean,
What up?
he's not much better in our team, so probably never gonna watch this, so we're good.
Getting boring.
Hey Mandata, what are you doing, man?
Just fucking around in shootouts.
Yeah, because I can see her stealing. I can see her stealing that guy. There you go. You gotta hold it this whole entire time.
You get on my floor, bro.
Oh shit! Look at that. That's some nice wood there, bro. What is that? Laminate?
Some kind of oak composite, bro.
Yeah, they're good.
All right, so moving on from Pittsburgh, we'll talk about New York.
Or maybe you could say the rest of them moving out.
Pardon? I can't hear you. Lou, you there, bud?
Yeah.
Did you say something? I heard something come through someone's mic, but it was really low.
My shit got unmuted, my bad.
Yeah, thanks. Alright, well, and this, who just left? Who's that? Oh, that was fucking Columbus's owner. Alright, so now the St. Louis players have to finish it off. Any players of relevance on New York?
I don't even remember who's on their team anymore. I know Neil's traded off so many damn people.
Yeah, I think they only have like two people from the start, and that's Laquara and Neil himself.
Yeah, but Lacara just got sent down to waivers last I saw.
Yeah, I think Pittsburgh is actually making a claim on him. So, but his Laquara's availability, I think, is the reason he got sent down. Like I say to a lot of people, I mean, a lot of the reason these guys get sent down is availability issues, or they're just not showing up for games. So, like when you take a chance to pick up one of these guys and he gets on your main roster and you don't schedule him, and then he files a complaint, like you as an owner, you're just like, you're kind of fucked. And that's what happens in a lot of these cases. So I know Laquara's not that kind of guy, but whoever put a claim on him, I know for a fact his availability isn't the greatest. Or maybe I could be wrong. I don't know. We'll see.
I wish Lou wouldn't have left. I would like to have had him re-say what he said so Debo could have responded.
I
was thinking about that as well. I mean, probably be easier for him to watch.
Oh, Lou is here. Nice.
Get into the podcast.
Lou's still here. It was Iceman who left.
Yeah. I could say it all again. I mean, you could probably watch the first 5 minutes of the podcast. It wasn't very long.
Let's finish up the rest of the East here real quickly. We only got 3 or 4 teams left? No, 3 teams left. Let's finish this up quickly, and then we could talk about whatever else you guys want to talk about here. So moving on from New York, you have Buffalo, Washington, and New Jersey. Washington. They're doing good. They went 6-4 this week. They got 76 points. We were talking about their goalie, Corey, but a couple of key players on their team, definitely TP Blue, Puck and Nuts. I mean, a lot of these guys, they're decent. Forfeit Kane, who has a plus 42. I mean, you guys traded him away. And he's doing, from what I hear, he's doing great on Washington. Do you regret that trade at all, Lou? Lou, you regret that trade? Your mic's muted if you're talking.
Yeah, no worries. Say that again. What was the trade?
Okay. My apologies. Forfeit Kane. He is a plus 42 on Washington right now.
Draisaitl?
Yeah. I mean, do you regret that trade, or like, because like he's doing great. He's a great defender, which a lot of people are kind of puzzled why he got traded from a team.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he is a great dude, and he's a good defender. I mean, do I regret the trade? Draisaitl has been doing great for me, so I don't really regret it in that sense. But do I wish I could have been able to do things a different way and keep him? Most definitely. I mean, you know, but the guy he went to is one of his good friends, like, who literally wouldn't budge for any, you know, variation except to have forfeit, you know, and I think over some time it kind of wore on me, and I, you know, made the decision, and I'm not saying that I regret the decision because, you know, Draisaitl's worked out great so far. I mean, he's always online, he's always, you know, jumping in parties, you know, really helped the team as a team. But would I have liked to keep forfeit around? You know, definitely, you know.
How is Draisaitl though? Is he? We had him on our team, and he requested a trade at the beginning of the season, like before we could even get a game in. How's he played for you guys?
He's played real good. He's jumped on left wing. I'm sorry, left wing, left D and right D. You know, played one side and then played the other in like a following game. And he's been able to jump in to accommodate games. You know, at the expense of some of his personal things. So I mean, he's really been a good team player. He's online a lot, so I, you know, play club games with him all the time. You know, he was a recommendation from a player who's probably not going to play with our team anymore. But I'm glad that, you know, he did that because I mean he's a younger kid, but he doesn't really act like some of the younger kids in the league.
No, and I've had the pleasure of talking to him too, and we've played like what is it, Rainbow Six together and shit. And he's no, he's a younger dude, but he's not like that kind of dude, like the younger immature dudes you talk to and they're just like act stupid at parties and stuff. He's really laid back. He's a general manager for someone in IOHL, and he's a really cool dude. We played a couple games with him. I mean, we just played a game just before we started this podcast, and he played decent at net. I mean, he didn't really have much, but just a straight up dude. I don't have any issues with him. All right, moving on to Buffalo. Buffalo is on a 1-game win streak, and they went 7-2-1 in their last 10 games. Now this is a team where they really feel like they have a chance at the cup. There's players on that team, and I know I bust Dod's balls about it all the time about Tank carrying his team to a cup. But realistically, I mean, who do you guys see on that team as being a real difference maker? And are you guys worried if you get matched up with them in the playoffs? I mean, will this be a team that you guys really have to worry about? Will they bring their A game, as they say?
You said Buffalo?
Buffalo, yeah.
I like their first line a lot, actually. A lot of people don't give them as much credit as they should get, but their first line forwards, like with Lindros, Nlge, and I can't think of the other guy's name.
Yeah, I totally agree. Lindros is a stud.
Yeah,
he's really, really good center. He played for me season 3, and he did phenomenal.
Yeah, he's always been a quality player. I mean, I've always liked seeing him play. I've played with him in a bunch of other leagues, and he's been real solid.
Yeah. He's actually good friends with Draisaitl as well, so I've been seeing him lately, you know, in games and stuff because of Draisaitl.
All right, moving on to the last team, and a team that's sort of fallen off its track. They went New Jersey Devils, who were like one of the top front runners for the President's Cup. They were really up there. They're now That's they're now 10 points back, roughly. Wait, no, 12 points back. And they're 4-6 this week, so they've had a rough week. In terms of they lost a couple players as well. I mean, what do you guys notice about New Jersey? Who do you think are the better players on the team?
I like Dart. I miss him too. He was one of ours. Good dude, great player. You got Hertz too. Hertz is an LG NHLer, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's on Chislett's team actually. But Fred's having a good season too. Can you see Fred's stats at all, Cobra?
Yeah. Going up for Fred, 34 games played, 7 goals, 36 assists, 43 points, plus 21. I mean, he's got good statistics as a defenseman, and the plus 21 looks really nice. A couple power play goals, a shorthanded goal, and 89 hits, which isn't much, but still pretty good.
Yeah, he doesn't give himself enough credit. I hear him talk about how he's bad all the time, but the kid can actually play pretty well.
What do you think, Lou? What do you think about New Jersey?
I think that I think Fred is definitely a good player. I think that the goalie situation might have hurt them a little bit. I think they're a good team. I mean, they definitely had our number early in the season. But I mean, to be a top team and be 4-6 in the second to last week, I don't think obviously isn't good. But yeah, I mean, Hertz, Burns, I believe, he's done phenomenal. He's lit us up a couple times. They got a couple guys that have been doing real well for them. I don't know what's changed. I mean, if anything, if there's like availability changes or something that changed recently, but it seems like they haven't.
I think a lot to do with. I mean, one, yeah, it does hurt to lose your starting goalie. But even then, with the team they had, replacing that goalie and making a goalie look good, I mean, that's not that difficult. Obviously, it's not going to be the same level as Misfit, and it's unfortunate that they don't have him anymore. But, I mean, I think the biggest issue on New Jersey is just they went through a management change, which when you go through a management change this late in the season, and depending on what that management change, like what the reasonings are behind it, tend to split a team apart. Stainless himself retired. I mean, he's still on here because some of the retired players are still on teams and stuff for like standing purposes, and obviously he still has statistics in the season. But he retired, and that hurts. You lose one of your top forwards like that. And I think it's just been a scheduling issue. I think with the change of management, maybe the mix-up, not a lot of people are comfortable with. I think that's why they're sliding a little bit right now. Their chemistry is kind of a little wavering, is in what I would think. But why'd you guys trade Dark away?
He requested a trade. He wasn't real happy with what was going on, and he asked to be moved. So we obliged him.
I mean, what was he happy about? I mean, I don't want you to feel like you have to give me specifics, but like, what wasn't he?
Just the way our 9 o'clock line was shaping up. We pretty much have our lines dedicated. Like, we don't line match, so our 9 o'clock line plays at 9. Our 8 o'clock line plays at 8. And they'd gotten beaten a couple times off some bad play, and he just got upset and tired of it, so he asked to be moved.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. All right. So now that we're done talking about the standings and statistics, and good luck to everyone this week, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year if we don't get a chance to say that to you. I guess whatever, Lou, if you want to rehash what you said in the beginning, so maybe Debo can respond. I guess. I mean, look. At the end of the day, we all chirp each other. We all say shit based on our views, not always based on what it is. Like, sometimes we'll make an opinion based on what we see rather than basic facts. So that being said, go ahead, Lou. If you want to go ahead and rehash that.
Yeah, obviously, if me and Debo have a conversation, about everything, it's probably not going to be on the podcast. But I was just responding to the comments of the last podcast. You know, um, that I was correcting some of the things that you said that were misleading or incorrect, and I just thought Debo really had no basis for basically all the things that he said. That no one respects me on my team. I've never gave Squid any props. I'm always giving myself props. Things of that nature. They're just unfounded. I went back and watched the previous podcast, which is where I believe he said he got information from, and what exactly was said is quite the opposite of how I was portrayed. So I just wanted my chance to respond. If I really want to have like a on the air podcast conversation that we have between me and him, probably not. But please feel free to respond if you think everything you said was correct.
All right, you waiting for me to talk? Is he done talking?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I stand behind what I said. The reason I did say it is I don't, chirping is one thing. I don't respect somebody who's doing well, chirping a lower team that's just trying to figure it out and get it together, because it's hard enough for that owner to get guys that want to show up to play on a terrible team, and you've had the knack the past couple weeks to chirp people. And I just felt it was unfounded. I thought it was in bad taste, is probably a better word. And so I felt I should call out the way I felt that the team went. Maybe some of the stuff I said was a little far-fetched, but it wasn't off basis. The fact of the matter is, most of the players on your team, and I believe this, and you know what, if we're wrong, we'll just agree to disagree, but I feel the respect lies with Squid, and I feel that Squid built that team, and I feel that it's one thing to ride along with that, and and you get props, I guess, for putting him at the GM spot, when I really think Nasty may have had more influence on that when he was there, but I could be wrong to put Squid in management. It's a good play, it's a smart play, but when you go out and you start chirping other owners and other teams, I feel sometimes people need to be called out and reminded that their shit don't stink. And that's not me to sound perfect, because I got a lot wrong with what I did, but at the end of the day, I can guarantee you I have respect for a majority of the players that played for me. I have the respect where I could call them up right now and they'd come play with me. And I'm not saying that couldn't be you. I just think that when you're on top of a team like that, and when you're one of the forefronting teams, and probably one of the teams that has the best chance to come away with the cup, I think you should hold yourself to a higher standard, and because people look up to you, and in a sense you kind of took it in a different route. And
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I know the one instance that you're talking about. It's where Columbus was supposed to place at 10 o'clock, and on 3 different chats, starting at 9:20, he was chirping me about when we're ready to go, and I think it was 9:30 or 9:40 when he chirped me 3 or 4 times and was saying, like, hey, are you ready? Are you ready? And we were in another game. So I said, one time I said, chill out, you'll get your beating soon enough, right? And that's exactly, I know that's what you're talking about, because I've only, chirped, if you will, maybe 2 teams, and that was just because I was getting annoyed. And if you look, somebody else said, like, yo, Iceman, why don't you chill out? Because he was obviously making sure we were going to be there to play them. I know he's had trouble getting people, so that's what that was all about. But I want to respond to a couple other things. As far as Nasty pushing Squid, Nasty wanted to trade Squid and half of our squad, and I decided to trade Nasty instead and pull Squid up to GM. I had asked Squid to be general manager earlier, but the way things started out is we had Nasty and his buddy forfeit, as management, and that I would step in as owner. As far as nobody on my team respecting me, I think if you speak to anybody who's played on previous teams or my current team, that's just 100% incorrect. At the end of every season, I have basically 70% of the players tell me that they'd like to play for me again, whether we were good that season or not. I'm a very open owner. I feel like I really do know where I stand. I mean, I'm the first person to say that, I don't think I would have made the Nashville team had I not been the owner.
Could I just jump in here for a second, Lou? I don't mean to cut you off. I'll let you continue here. And this is where I speak on it. I sort of agree with Omni to a sense. One, I've never discounted your ability as an owner. You wouldn't have ownership right now if there's any way I felt that you weren't a superb owner. And we're glad that you decide to own this season. From my past experiences, because I'm the one at the top, so I get a lot of the complaints come through me, and I get to see a lot of this stuff. And it's been a constant throughout the last couple seasons. And I know you've had this issue before. I know Washington's had this issue where you'll get players of these high ego players or these assholes or whatever that only want to play for certain people or well-known people. And Squid himself, I would consider really, like, he's well-known throughout the AHL, throughout the NHL. He's well-known in IOHL and pretty much every league that he's played in because he's a superb player. So I've seen cases where players just don't want to play for people, and you've had that happen to you before. You've had a player you drafted and he just didn't want to play for you, and we've had to deal with it. And I think that's where I sort of think that when that whole thing with Nasty and Squid went down, where like a player retired, Reflex was trying to get himself blacklisted. I personally think that because you did what you did, I think you kept your team together instead of you got rid of the real problem and kept someone there that your team wanted to keep there. And in that sense, we know, like I know personally that Squid helped with trades. I know definitely he has a heavy opinion on them because he knows a lot of players. So like in a certain sense, Debo's kind of right where Squid helped that team. But when it comes down to like lines, structure, putting in stats, I know 100% that's all you. I know you're the main reason that team is where it is because you are, you got your shit down, you got your ability, you got your lines, you got everything ready. Like, hey guys, here we go. You message people every day when they're gonna play, even though you don't have to. So you really go out of your way to make sure your team is organized and you got 6 people for each game. And I feel like you don't get enough credit for that, which most owners don't. I mean, most owners are judged by how they play rather than how they manage, which I think is a big mistake. But I think there is a sense, I kind of feel too, that maybe there's certain players on that team in the beginning that kind of stay just because you made a good choice with Squid, and Squid kind of helped you build that team around. And I think that's kind of the way I thought about it, but again, I'm not discounting your ability as an owner or the respect level you have. So I just wanted to make sure you knew exactly how I thought about that. So in a sense, I agree with Debo. And the chirping thing, whatever it is, what it is. I know personally you have been a team, that's had that happen to you, where you've been at the bottom of the standings, so you should know exactly how that is. And I think that's where that's where it's a little bit off taste. Where it's like, come on, man, you know how it is to be there, and that whatever it is, what it is. People, I say stupid shit all the time where I probably shouldn't speak at all. So. I mean, okay, so yeah, you guys continue. I'm sorry, I'm rambling.
No, it's all right. I mean, so your point is that at some point there could have been players that wouldn't have stuck around that are good players if Squid wasn't there. I mean, yeah, that 100% could be correct, and I'm all for it. I mean, the way that I run things, where Squid took care of some trades in the middle. I mean, he was unavailable for the last 2 weeks before the deadline. Which I made trades there, and I made trades earlier in the year. But Squid knows so many more people, and connects with people, already has people in their network.
Well, if I can interject, man, because I don't like the way this is going. Because, me and you having issues, and we can gladly talk about that outside of a podcast. My goal isn't for you to have to explain yourself as more as it's. If that's the case, like you're saying, Squid helped you build, like I've been saying, then, I just feel you should thank the people that help you get there, in a sense. And I haven't really personally heard you do that too much. Now, granted, I'm not in the the big circle of ownership anymore because I stepped down. But when it comes to my main thing is, and I just really want you to understand, is like when you're on top of a team and you have a team that's a top tier team. I mean, a team that people look up to, and you wanna hold yourself to a certain standard. And basically, by me calling you out and giving recognition to Squid is because you haven't, in my eyes, and stood up to what you should be as an owner on the team that you're on. Now, who gives a shit, right? I mean, who the fuck am I? But I'm also entitled to my opinion, so I'll voice it. I mean, anybody who knows me knows I'm going to voice it. And then, when I hear that you're chirping, the teams that are really struggling, it bothers me, man. I was an owner of St. Louis. Everybody knows this, for 3 seasons. I would like to think that we were very successful. And I contribute a lot, if you hear of any of my podcasts, a lot to my GM, a lot to the team. And it's just to hold yourself to that higher standard. The reason being is, there's no need to beat up on a team that's already getting their ass beat. And plus
I
owner.
I mean, you make a good point. And yeah, maybe that one response, which was one single line, was in bad taste because he was, getting at me on 3 different chats. But I mean, but just everything you say about how I don't give Squid any credit, and Squid is my management. I mean, that's what we do, is to build the best team. So I mean, I don't know if you're trying to say that like he's building it and I'm not. I mean, I could really give a fuck, to be honest with you. But everybody on my team has respect for me, and you can ask anybody who's been on a former team that's one thing I try to prevent is, one person causing a bunch of bullshit. Have I had some of those type of players? Do I still have them? Yes. But, I mean, I feel good in how I'm managing my team and how things are working out. And, whether you think I don't give Squid enough credit or not, I mean, that's your opinion, but it's wrong. Squid is a huge part of this team, and, so is Dookie and some of the other players. And do I think I'm on their level? No. Have I ever said that? No. But exactly, I mean, you can think whatever you'd like. It's just when you're coming on and presenting things as fact when they're completely wrong, it just makes me feel like I have to at least set the record straight with what actually goes on.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. I mean, at the end of the day, I do feel what I said isn't too far off base. Like I said, there's no need for us to bash each other in a podcast. I mean, I'm sure we could do that, and that'd be great. And me, I never miss my chance to get up on a soapbox, but it would kind of defeat the whole purpose of my whole point, and that's, basically, when you're on top like that, man, you should hold yourself to that higher standard. You know what I mean?
On a fair note, because I understand what you're saying, Debo, Lou Apocalypse has openly, in podcasts before, as he was saying in the beginning, thanked his management, thanked his team, and has already stated that he's a mediocre player, and that his team, realistically, he's... you know what, Lou, why don't you say it? Because you did say in the beginning of the podcast, I don't think Debo heard it, and it's something that I didn't even pick up, but in past podcasts that Lou has been on...
Well, all I did is I went back to the first podcast that I was on and basically line for line wrote out what was exactly said. When someone asked me, what do I think about the core that's been put together in Nashville? My first line is Squid's a beast. Everybody knows Nasty, Barrett, Reflex, and Canine. They're all great players. Then I say something like, it won't be hard, for me to not look bad with Squid and Nasty on the line. And then I think somebody said, don't discredit yourself either. My response to that was, I'm very realistic with my playing ability. I haven't played as long as a lot of these other players. But one thing I do well is I manage a team well. So, I mean, it is what it is. I just thought a lot of your shit was unfounded. And, I invite you to look through the podcast or find somewhere where I've said something like that. And I'm confident saying that because I know I haven't. I mean, did I respond quickly in one line to Calgary when I was getting pestered to play a game? Yeah. But, I mean, I'd like to see more examples of where I'm, not holding things to a higher standard, because that's really how I run my team.
All right, sweet. I mean, unless anyone has anything else to add to that, or we have anything else to discuss here, I think that wraps it up. Or Debo, do you have some more?
I mean, I do, man, but I don't. It's not podcast. It shouldn't be put on a podcast.
It is part of the podcast, sir. Just let your soul out, sir. This is what this podcast is all about.
I mean, me and Luke can gladly go a few rounds or whatever off of the air here, but I don't think it's conducive for the league. And ultimately, I care about the league. That's the whole reason that, I'm saying Lou should hold himself to a higher standard. But
all right.
whatever.
One second. We're going to go off air now, guys. Thank you all for watching the podcast. Sorry you don't get to see the off-air stuff. I can't wait to hear this. All right.